about him. You're embarrassed because you did that to him. You're embarrassed because you smoked and drank while pregnant and you made this the outcome. If you want to be mad at anybody, be mad at yourself. Be mad at yourself. We're not embarrassed. You're embarrassed because you did it. Okay? If you want to be the victim, there's nobody the victim but him. If you want anybody to be mad at what's happened, you're the responsible party for this. You did this. All you had to do for 9 months was go to your appointments, don't drink, don't smoke, and try to be peaceful. That's all you had to do, and it was only 9 months. You were a horrible pregnancy, and now you're a horrible mother. The best thing that you can do right now is go get the counseling that you need and the support that he needs, the physical therapy and the therapies that he needs. That's all you can do now. And hope for the best. And pray that God puts a healing on him and continue to be peaceful. But running around threatening people for something that you did is diabolical.
Something just dropped that sent the internet from gossip mode straight into investigation mode. A new health test update involving Chrisean Rock's son was shared by family sources, and within minutes, timelines turned into debate arenas, reaction channels lit up, and comment sections transformed into digital courtrooms, not whispers, not rumors. A posted update that raised more questions than answers, and that's when the online storm hit full speed. This isn't regular celebrity chatter. This is the kind of update that makes fans pause. Critics speak up, and observers start connecting dots like detectives with unlimited screenshots. Supporters say people are overreacting. Critics say the concerns are serious. Neutral viewers say the truth is buried under noise, edits, and emotional reactions. And the wild part, every side claims they're protecting the child while arguing with each other at full volume. Welcome to modern fame, where private health updates become public controversy in under 10 minutes. No one agrees. Everyone reacts, and the facts are fighting the headlines for oxygen. The moment the family health update about Junior started circulating, the internet didn't scroll. It slammed on the brakes and leaned in. Timelines that were joking 5 minutes earlier suddenly turned serious, loud, and divided. Screenshots spread faster than explanations. Captions grew teeth. Reaction pages hit upload like they were racing a deadline no one gave them. This wasn't treated like celebrity gossip, it was treated like a developing situation. And the volume shot up instantly. What actually triggered the storm wasn't just the test update itself. It was the way it was shared and interpreted. A medical-related note involving a child entered the public arena, and the algorithm did what it always does. It amplified emotion before understanding. Within minutes, 3 different narratives formed. One side said, people are panicking without context. Another said, concern is justified when health is mentioned. A third group said, stop turning a child into a headline. And just like that, the debate split into lanes with no speed limits. Comment sections became instant courtrooms, not quiet ones, loud ones. Supporters typed defenses like legal teams. Critics typed concerns like emergency alerts. Neutral voices tried to slow things down and got talked over by certainty delivered in all caps. That's the strange law of viral updates. Volume beats patience in the first round. Then came the interpretation avalanche. Medical terms, or what people thought were medical terms, started flying around from accounts with usernames like Dragonking247 and Truth Detectors. Suddenly everybody had a diagnosis theory, a treatment theory, and a motive theory. Internet expertise activated on schedule, diplomas not included. More grounded voices tried to explain that swallow-related tests in children can be ordered for many different reasons, with outcomes that range widely, and that partial summaries don't equal full conclusions. But calm explanations travel slower than dramatic assumptions. Sensational phrasing gets shares, careful phrasing gets scrolled past. That's not fair, but it is predictable. Reaction creators split into 2 clear camps. One group took the measured route, explaining possibilities, urging caution, reminding viewers that medical context matters and children deserve privacy. The other group used high alert framing, intense music, urgent tone, big text overlays, turning uncertainty into suspense. Same information window, completely different emotional packaging. A second controversy wave rose right behind the first, the privacy argument. Should any child's medical-related update be posted publicly at all? That question hit like a second thunderclap. Some argued transparency prevents rumors and shows honesty. Others argued minors deserve a firewall between their health and public content. Both sides claimed moral high ground. Neither side lowered the volume. Timeline historians, the internet's unpaid research department, started pulling past clips back into circulation. Old interviews, earlier statements, previous concerns, prior rumors, everything resurfaced like flashback footage in a documentary edit. Context stacking began. Some of it helped. Some of it confused things further. Once the archive gets opened, narrative threads multiply whether they belong together or not. Language analysis became its own mini-industry overnight. People weren't just reacting to the update, they were dissecting the wording like literature critics. Why that phrase? Why not this one? Why mention this detail? Why leave out that one? Tone became evidence. Formatting became motive. Even punctuation got cross-examined. Meme pages approached the topic and immediately met resistance. Many viewers pushed back hard against humor around the situation. Drawing a clear boundary around child health topics, that created an unusual moment online where even satire accounts hesitated. When the joke economy slows down, you know the subject hit a sensitive nerve. Another factor intensified everything, pre-existing controversy around the broader family storyline. When tension already exists, new updates don't land in a calm room, they land in a room full of sparks. Every new detail gets interpreted through old arguments. People don't just see the update, they see it through whatever side they already chose last week. Fan communities mobilized fast. Defense threads appeared urging empathy and restraint. Concern threads appeared calling for accountability and clarity. Each side accused the other of bad faith. Motives were assigned. Intentions were guessed. Certainty was manufactured in bulk, media style. Commentary pages added yet another layer, reframing the moment into narrative arcs. Transparency versus privacy. Concern versus overreaction. Protection versus exposure. Real people turned into debate symbols because symbols are easier to argue about than situations. And underneath all the shouting sat the quiet truth nobody wanted to wait for: partial information plus. High emotion equals unstable conclusions. But waiting is not the internet's favorite activity. Reacting is. Right now the story isn't settled. It's suspended. Facts are still slower than reactions. Context is still chasing captions. And the loudest voices are not necessarily the most informed, just the most amplified. The next development, clarification, correction, or escalation will hit twice as hard because the ground is already shaking. As the update kept circulating, the conversation didn't just grow, it mutated. What started as a single shared health-related node turned into layers of reactions, counter-reactions, and meta-reactions about the reactions. This is the phase where online controversy stops being about the original post and starts being about how everyone is responding to the post. The echo becomes louder than the sound. Reaction channels doubled their output speed. Some creators tried to bring structure, inviting medical professionals, citing general pediatric guidance, and repeating the same caution line over and over. Partial updates are not full diagnoses. Others went full siren mode, dramatic voiceovers, countdown-style titles, and language so intense it sounded like a movie trailer for uncertainty. Same situation, wildly different emotional packaging. Viewers chose based on mood, not methodology. The phrase "we need the full report" started trending in comment sections like a chant. People demanded documentation, clarification, expert interpretation, the digital version of banging on the table for evidence. But at the same time, Many of those same threads were filled with confident conclusions drawn from fragments. That contradiction is classic timeline behavior. Demand certainty, ignore patience. Then came the influencer response layer, not direct statements from major names at first. More like cautious distance signals, subtle posts about protecting kids, quotes about privacy, general reminders that not everything belongs online, no tags, no mentions. But the timing lined up so neatly it didn't need labels. Social media subtext is louder than direct speech if you know how to read it. Debate spaces and live audio rooms filled up fast. These turned into verbal town halls with zero moderators and infinite confidence. Some speakers argued that public figures live in public reality and updates are inevitable. Others pushed back hard, saying health-related details about minors should never become engagement content. The temperature stayed high. The agreement level stayed low. A new twist entered the storyline: credibility battles. Viewers started questioning not just the update, but the interpreters. Who is this source? Why should we trust this page? What's their track record? Suddenly, the spotlight shifted from the content to the messengers. Reputation audits began in real time. Old posting histories were examined like background checks. Clip culture made things more volatile. Short edits removed nuance and kept only emotional spikes. A cautious sentence could be trimmed into a dramatic headline. A balanced take could be cut into a fearful warning. Once content becomes bite-sized, meaning becomes negotiable. The shorter the clip, the louder the interpretation. Pop culture comparisons started showing up, some serious, some exaggerated. Commentators compared the reaction cycle to past celebrity family controversies where partial information created full-blown narrative storms. Others said this is the social media version of a courtroom drama where the jury reads only the bold text and skips the footnotes. What made this escalation phase especially intense was motive assignment. People didn't just debate facts, they debated intent. Why share this now? Why phrase it that way? Who benefits? Motive speculation is rocket fuel for controversy because it turns information gaps into conspiracy playgrounds. Proof becomes optional. Suspicion becomes content. Support communities pushed back against what they called overreach arguing. That strangers were turning concern into accusation without authority or full knowledge. Concerned communities pushed back against what they called minimization, arguing that brushing off health updates discourages accountability. Each side accused the other of harmful extremes. Middle ground tried to speak and got buried under louder takes. Even format became part of the controversy. Viewers analyzed where the update appeared, how it was presented, whether it was summarized or shown directly. Presentation method became debate material. Delivery became evidence. Framing became motive, at least according to the timeline. Jury.platform algorithms quietly amplified the conflict. Posts with strong emotional language outperformed cautious explanations. High engagement arguments got boosted. Balanced threads got modest reach. The system doesn't reward accuracy, it rewards reaction. That invisible rule shaped what most people saw first. Fatigue started appearing, but only in wording, not behavior. Comments saying this is too much appeared directly under posts with thousands of interactions. People claimed exhaustion while continuing to monitor every update. That paradox never fails. Attention complains while staying seated. A protective counter-movement also formed, creators and viewers explicitly calling for boundaries around child-related topics. These posts urged slowing down, verifying sources, and separating adult controversy from child welfare. They didn't trend as hard, but they built a steady presence, not viral, but visible. Meanwhile, expectation pressure increased. Audiences now anticipate a follow-up, clarification, denial, expansion, correction. Silence feels temporary once a story reaches this altitude. The crowd leans forward. Notification bells get armed. Refresh buttons work over time. The escalation truth is simple. The less complete the information, the more aggressive the interpretation cycle. Gaps don't stay empty online. They get filled with guesses at high speed. Right now, the debate is louder than the data, the reactions are faster than the reports. And the narrative is still being written in real time, and when the next confirmed detail arrives, it won't land on neutral ground. It will land in a storm already in progress. When the noise finally stopped climbing and settled into a steady roar, the story entered its most important phase, the consequence phase. Not consequence like punishment, consequence like impact. Because once a child-related health update becomes a viral controversy topic, the effects spread far beyond the original post. The argument becomes part of the reputation landscape, and every future headline walks through that altered terrain. First came perception reshaping, not just about the update itself, but about everyone involved in how it was shared, framed, defended, and debated. Online audiences build impression profiles fast. People get labeled as transparent, reckless, protective, exploitative, defensive, caring, careless, sometimes all at once depending on who's describing them. Complexity gets flattened into keywords because keywords travel faster than nuance. Supporters harden their stance, arguing that public figures live under public scrutiny and selective sharing is unavoidable in modern fame. Critics harden theirs too, saying children should never become supporting characters in public narrative arcs. Both sides became more certain over time, not less. That's the strange gravity of online debate. Repetition increases confidence. Even when facts say incomplete. Another consequence surfaced quietly but powerfully. Trust recalibration. Audiences began reassessing which sources they believe. Pages that exaggerated lost credibility with some viewers. Pages that stayed cautious gained respect from others. Credibility is like glass online, hard to build, easy to crack, impossible to hide once damaged. This controversy didn't just test the story, it tested the storytellers. Relationship ripple effects followed, not just family relationships, public-facing relationships, collaborators, associates, and frequent co-creators suddenly found themselves asked for opinions. Silence got interpreted, neutrality got questioned, even distance became a statement according to somebody. Controversy spreads like ink in water, wide and uneven. Brand impact discussions also intensified. Commentary channels debated whether this moment would strengthen raw honesty branding or reinforce chaos narrative branding. Reputation analysts, unofficial but extremely vocal, treated perception like a stock chart. Up with supporters, down with critics, volatile. With neutrals, no closing bell. Audience behavior changed too. Casual viewers converted into alert watchers, not necessarily fans, but monitors. They began tracking updates, comparing statements, watching for consistency. Once an audience shifts from entertainment mode to audit mode, every future message gets examined like a contract clause. Fatigue matured into segmentation. Some viewers stepped back entirely, saying child-related topics shouldn't be content at all. Others stayed engaged, but demanded stricter sourcing and calmer coverage. A third group remained fully invested in the ongoing saga. One event, 3 audience pots. The meme economy, which had slowed earlier out of sensitivity, partially returned, but more cautiously. Satire shifted away from the child and toward the media reaction machine itself. Jokes targeted the overreaction culture, the internet doctors, the comment section specialists. Humor redirected upward toward the noise instead of downward toward the subject. Another lasting effect is narrative lensing. From this point forward, future UPDATEs, even unrelated ones, will be interpreted through this controversy filter by some viewers. That's how narrative gravity works. One viral debate becomes a reference point for later interpretation. Fair or not, it sticks. Prediction culture kept running. Viewers speculated about clarifications, official statements, professional explanations, or platform policy responses. Forecasting thrives in uncertainty. Accuracy is optional. Confidence is mandatory. The prediction market never closes. Platform behavior learned from the engagement spike too. Algorithms detect patterns, topics. Combining family, health, and controversy trigger strong reaction signals, so related posts get surfaced faster next time. The system remembers what people argue about. That memory affects reach later. There's also a deeper consequence rarely discussed: normalization risk. The more often child-related situations become public debate material, the more the boundary weakens. That concern was raised repeatedly by the caution camp, not about this single moment alone, but about precedent. Precedent travels quietly but lasts loudly. And beneath the analytics, arguments, and audience metrics sits the human core, real people living behind the headlines. Online debate turns situations into symbols. Real life keeps them personal. That disconnect is permanent. In digital controversy, the crowd sees storyline. The participants feel reality. Here's the final aftermath truth. Viral controversy rarely ends with a single resolution post. It fades in waves, resurfaces in references, and echoes in future conversations. Closure is gradual, not cinematic, but curiosity remains installed right now. The volume has stabilized, but the interest hasn't vanished. Viewers are still watching, waiting, refreshing, not for more drama, for more clarity. If you made it all the way through this breakdown, take a breath, because you just rode the roller coaster without the safety bar. Not rumors, not reckless hype, but the full timeline, the reaction layers, the credibility battles, and the consequence waves. This is what happens when one update hits the internet and the internet hits back at full volume. Now, if you want more deep dive breakdowns that cut through noise instead of adding to it, go ahead and smash that like button like it owes you explanation money. Don't tap it, press it with purpose. Because every like tells the algorithm you want smart heat, not empty smoke. Loud stories, sharp analysis, and drama decoded instead of just screamed. Drop your thoughts in the comments, but bring logic, not just volume. What should stay private? What belongs public? Where should the line be when family and fame collide? The comment section is your courtroom, your newsroom, and your debate stage. The strongest takes get pinned, the smartest takes get featured, the reckless takes get side-eyed. Subscribe if you want ongoing coverage of celebrity controversies, media storms, reputation shakeups, and internet moments that turn into cultural debates overnight. Hit the bell so you don't arrive late when the next headline explodes, because these stories don't trickle in. They crash through the door. Other channels chase noise. We track impact. Other channels sell panic. We break down patterns. More investigations are loading. More timelines are unfolding. More truth versus hype battles are coming. This is Celeb